Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen for the finale for these top 10s. Now, we will be getting an end of the month banner, and whether or not that's going to shake things up, which it probably will, let's be real here, Bankai Shuhei, we might get Aura, we might get a Nuhikone, we might get, I'm not quite sure who else really fits besides like maybe Ginjo and Tsukishima. I don't know exactly what K-Lab's going to want to do, but either way, before they shake things up one last time, hopefully this list will be accurate to my liking for the next foreseeable week. Anyways, let's just get right into it. Alright, so first on the list for honorable mentions, I'm gonna have to give it to Bon Toshiro. He's a very available unit, and honestly, with the way that K-Lab likes to spit him out like next week's nut, he's very, like, you most possibly will have him or will get him in the foreseeable future. He's actually not a bad unit to work on, considering that getting duplicates of this unit is very, very possible. He does have a Hollow Killer, damage inflicted at full stamina 25%, which is good for increasing your ultimate move damage, your normal attack damage, and your strong attacks as well. I personally like this over a strong attack damage link because it does inflate your damage by quite a bit. He has a Debilitator of 5 seconds, Devastation 40%, Frenzy, Sprinter +1, and a Star Barrier +10, which used to make him pretty good in PvP because of his fast activation times. He has a 2500 length beam for his first strong attack, and his third strong attack is a standard full screen. However, he does have a barrier second strong attack, which I do feel kind of slows him down quite a bit. I personally like barriers for NAD based units, but for SP based units, if they don't get like a cool, if they don't get a good radius barrier, I feel like it holds them back quite a bit. Because first off, it's a 40-second cooldown, and then two, if it's something like Tokinata's boost or Kisuke's barrier, I feel like it gives a little more versatility, right? So, yeah, overall, just a very good value unit, and yeah, I mean, that's pretty much Toshiro in a nutshell. Next on the list, I'm going to have to give it to Retsu. Retsu would actually be on this list if it wasn't for the fact that she was given Human Killer. I feel like Human Killer holds her back immensely. Like, if we complain about no affiliation killer, Human Killer is even worse. With a strong attack recharge 14% link, she's honestly not going to ever be a bad unit because at worst, she's going to be a good strong attack recharge link. She does have Frenzy, she does have Guard Break, a Berserker of 40%, so she's going to hit like a truck, Devastation +60%, and Sprinter +1. First and foremost, she does have the Beam 2500 length first, the full screen third strong attack, and then she does have the 800 radius AoE in front, which I think is very, very, very good. One of the best kits in the game. Her only real issue is that this Human Killer will probably never come into play, and K-Lab likes to enhance the damage when it comes to killers in particular. When it comes to Inheritance Zone, Droplet Zone, I mean, perhaps not Epic Raids, because there you need bonus, right? However, even in Guild Quest, you get a damage bonus for having the proper killer, and even the fact that she's a range unit, actually, I feel like her being a range unit is actually not a bad thing. Alright, next on the list, I'm going to have to give it to True Bankai Ichigo. These are all honorable mentions. True Bankai Ichigo is a very, very strong unit, and he would be on the list, but this character is like borderline unavailable, and honestly, at 1 of 5, I wouldn't really advise anyone work on him, because unless you're a whale, you're probably not getting this character 5/5 with the scarce amount of special move sources that K-Lab likes to put out. He's a Soul Reaper with Soul Reaper Killer, but I think that Yoruichi does his job a little bit better. We'll get into that later on down the list. Strong Attack Recharge -12%, Bruiser 20%, Devastation 40%, Enhancer, Frenzy, Sprinter +1, Paralysis, and Weaken Immunity. And he does have a transformation mechanic, so he'll deal more damage. Now, he will obviously deal more damage than Yoruichi, but the fact that Yoruichi has Sprinter plus... the fact that Yoruichi has 4 flash sets, as well as having a boost with Enhancer, they're both probably one-shotting in the same situations when they're both 1 of 5, except Yoruichi actually has the potential of not only getting duplicates for the character, but she's a Star 14 link. We'll get into that later, though. Alright, so first on the list, I'm going to have to give it to Soifon. Soifon is an absolute monster. She's probably one of my favorite NAD units in the entire game, just because of her kit. Going into the character herself, she does have an Arankar Killer with a normal attack damage link of 20%, so she was one of the few units that got a PvE killer with NAD and Flurry at the same time. So Bruiser of 20% along with Flurry, Devastation 20 and Berserker 30 are pretty throwaway abilities. She has an Enhancer with a boost on her second strong attack with a transformation mechanic, which means her NAD is going to deal more damage. She does have long reach plus 20% and poise, and her NAD range is actually 450. So just because she's using her fist, well, technically her Sanpakuto, sure, but just because she's using her like fists and kicks, She actually has better range than most characters, most NAD characters that are being released to this day. So honestly, very, very good value character. She has a lunge for strong attack, full screen third, and then her second strong attack is actually a walking vortex, which is amazing. She has a 20-second party buff, and then her transformation mechanic gives her an extra 10% to her normal attack damage, not to mention the fact that she's going to have a boost with Enhancer, meaning that she's going to be able to deal dick like no one else, honestly. Like she's a very, very good character. Now, a lot of people were... one of the complaints I hear about her, which doesn't make sense, is, but she doesn't have guard break, though. She don't need it. She has a walking vortex for the fact, like, for the hollows and soul reapers that she's going to encounter, and she has an Arrancar killer, which means Arrancars don't even have a melee guard enemy, so she doesn't need guard break. She's excellent. Just in it, just on her own, she's just an excellent unit. Now, Senjumaru is an incredibly strong unit. My only issue with her is, like, since Caleb doesn't really release hard content, a Senjumaru that's 1 of 5 with SP level 10 is going to kill just as well as other characters. Like, they're all going to one-shot. So, like, some of her skills end up becoming kind of, I don't want to say useless, but they're just underutilized. She has an Arrancar killer, strong attack recharge minus 12%. Going into the actual soul tree, Berserker 20%, along with Havoc 20%, along with Frenzy. Very, very good. She has a 3000 length beam, first strong attack, and then a 1200 radius third strong attack, as well as a 690 barrier ability for her second strong attack. I feel like if this was just an 800 AoE that got turned into a 960, she'd probably be one of the best units in the game. And I'm not even like that's not cap at all. She has lacerate on all of her attacks except for her barrier, including her ultimate. She has a debilitator of 2 seconds. She doesn't get devastation 40%, but she does get this. Damage to lacerated enemies plus 40%. Now, my main issue with her is this skill. Increased status ailment chance against mind attribute Arrancars by 10%. The problem with this, honestly, is the fact that the enemies that you're going to be using this against are probably going to die in one hit anyways, due to you having attribute advantage and killer advantage. So this ends up becoming very, very underutilized, and unless it's your ultimate, you're probably not going to be making use of this skill, the damage to lacerated enemies plus 40%. Other than that, though, if she ends up being used for like Senkaimon, say you're going up against mind Arrancar enemies, this character, if she doesn't one-shot, she's almost guaranteed with your strong attacks to actually cause lacerate, which I think is very, very, very strong, especially if you're going up against bosses. She has a Sprinter +1, of course, and overall, she's just a very, very strong unit. Like I said, honestly, with the way that Caleb releases content, until she doesn't one-shot, until characters don't one-shot at 1 of 5, I feel like this character is going to be on the top 10, but no higher up until that point, pretty much. Alright, next on the list, I'm going to have to give it to Renji. Now, Tag Team Renji has been a very divisive character with one of, like, the worst first strong attacks in the game. Alright, so he has a hollow and a Arrancar killer, which makes him very, very viable for stuff like Inheritance Zone carries. But, like, of course, Rukia is indeed a Link Slot Potion character, so honestly, I feel like that kind of scuffed him up a little bit. However, still, when it comes to, like, co-op, him being a charged attack along with having Havoc 20%, meaning he has a beyond full screen third strong attack, means that he will actually be able to deal pretty good damage. Now, he has a radius of 570 because of the Havoc. However, this isn't a lunge, it's literally just an AoE around himself, which I feel like holds him a little bit back. His second strong attack is a AoE distance 750 radius Powerball enemy, which actually has some pretty good range on it. I feel like the 750... I feel like it doesn't do it justice, like just how good that second strong attack is. He does have Frenzy, he doesn't have Berserker, but he does have a Havoc 20% and Devastation 40%. He's pretty vanilla when it comes to like skills, but the fact that he has a charged third strong attack, which you can make use of if you're host in co-op lobbies, say something like Extreme Co-op, you'll be able to clear rooms relatively quickly. Unfortunately, if you're not host, Global has a horrible lag to it, in which case you can only clear whatever wave is currently in front of you, and if a wave spawns even in the middle of your animation, you're probably not hitting them because of server-side lag. That's honestly what holds him back, in my opinion. Bad enough for a strong attack. Next on the list, I'm going to have to give it to Yoruichi. Yoruichi is a very, very available character with how Caleb likes to put him out. You will most likely get this character at least 2 of 5 over the course of the next year, just because, like I said, good value character. Caleb puts her out like candy, and it's a Yoruichi. So she does have a Soul Reaper killer, just like TBI. True Bankai Ichigo, and her soul trait is strong attack recharge minus 14%. So she's worth working on, if only because of the strong attack recharge link. Going into the soul tree, she does have Enhancer, she has Frenzy, she has Sprinter plus 1, which means she has 4 flash steps because she is a Yoruichi, Devastation 40%, strong attack recharge enhanced link, right? First strong attack lunge, third strong attack full screen third, second strong attack is a standard boost ability with 525 radius. Pretty bad radius, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, at the end of the day, it's just a very good vanilla, just good value character. Alright, next on the list, I'm gonna have to put Apache in here, which is kind of weird. Personally, I don't normally like this was more of a what is it called, community vote. She does have an Espada Killer, which we would have hated back in the day, but due to Espada Killer weak when it comes to Guild Quest, I feel like Apache becomes a little overvalued personally. However, that doesn't detract from the fact that she has probably one of the best kits in the game. Strong attack recharge minus 12% is her link, Berserker 40%, Devastation 60%, Frenzy, weakened defense on the ultimate, so her ultimate's going to deal even more damage. She has Havoc, Sprinter plus 1, like, this character is nutty. 1200 radius, third strong attack, 960 radius, second strong attack that takes place in front of you, and then her first strong attack is a 1200 by 1200, like, square shotgun like beam first strong attack that honestly just nukes the living hell out of Guild Quest. Not to mention that her ultimate has weakened defense, which means that with a devastation of 60% and weakened defense, you're dealing significantly more damage. So this character literally was made specifically for Guild Quest. Her ultimate even has a heal on it to help your NAD characters, because you're probably using Ichibe. Who are you using? Ichibe, Broken, or the new Yoruichi. So like, she's a very, very good unit, and she has a little bit of support to your side characters. Obviously, you're gonna want her as a main runner, but that's pretty much Apache in a nutshell. Very, very good character. Next on the list, we're gonna put Mugetsu. I feel like Mugetsu should be, I don't know. Mugetsu is an interesting take. I personally love Mugetsu, right? He is a Soul Reaper with Hollow and no affiliation killer. If this no affiliation killer was like Soul Reaper or Rancor, I feel like he would be more valuable. Strong attack recharge minus 12%. He does have a bruiser of 20%, debilitator of 5 seconds with weakening on all of his attacks, devastation 40%, freeze immunity, frenzy, and sprinter plus 2. He also has a recover 20% stamina in between rooms, so he actually can be run with a full stamina damage boost for more damage if you really need that. I don't really think he needs it if you have killer. He has a lunge first strong attack, full screen third strong attack, 800 radius second strong attack. Pretty vanilla on paper for the strong attacks, but honestly, like him having weakening and debilitator and then 2 killers, I feel like this character is really, really, really valuable, considering that he does have sprinter plus 2. I'm not gonna lie to you, when it comes down to it, Sprinter plus 2 makes a world of a difference when it comes to the smoothness of a character's gameplay. Characters like Candace, Kirinji, Desert Society Rukia, these characters feel a lot smoother because of that Sprinter plus 2. Alright, next on the list, Kampachi. Kampachi is an absolute monster. He has an enhanced strong attack damage link. He's Soul Reaper killer. He has a good kit. He has a pretty good kit. Berserker 40%, Devastation 60%, no status elements. Frenzy, hit an enemy chance 100%, which is good because like since you have Soul Reaper, you're gonna encounter underground enemies, which you don't have to waste an accessory slot for a Zeta Ball. He has Poise, he has Sprinter plus 1, and then on top of that he has a Bruiser of 40% if you want to use the NAD string. Now, going into the character himself, he has a lunge for strong attack, 2500 length beam second strong attack, and then the third strong attack is a full screen third. His ultimate will actually transform him for 30 seconds, where he removes his eye patch and gives him an extra 25% magnification to his strong attack, so he's going to be dealing significantly more damage, as well as resetting his cooldowns. After the transformation expires, he will get all his he's going to get all his cooldowns back again, deal massive PP, and for content like Guild Quest, I feel like this is incredibly powerful. And then when it comes to carrying, like say you're hosting a lobby, being able to refresh your cooldowns on the spot is really, really, really good, because you pretty much get a lot more invincibility frames. So in stuff like and stuff like extreme co-op, being able to just use all your strong attacks, use your ultimate to protect yourself from like an insta-kill mechanic or whatever, and then you get all your strong attacks back so you have a lot more invincibility frames. Honestly, this character deals massive damage, and then as well as he pretty much protects himself as well. Alright, next on the list, I don't really know how I feel about Grimmjow being this high up. Not because I think he's bad, but because I feel like NAD characters are in a weird spot. Like, if the NAD character isn't completely broken, I don't really see them doing too crazy stuff, right? Now, this Grimmjow was supposed to be the Tokinata killer of sorts. He has a damage reduction of 20%. He's a Soul Reaper killer. He does have poise. He has guard break. He has Zeta Ball built into him with a hidden enemy chance. He has flurry. He has a bruiser of 40%. But honestly, I don't feel like he does what Tokinata does. What Tokinata does is innately broken, which we'll get into that in a little bit. He has a berserker of 50%, but honestly, these berserker 50% enemies, if you have a Chappie and a Hollow Bait, you're pretty much not going to want to use them as an SP based build unless you have duplicate copies into them. He has a Sprinter +1, and then with him having an enhanced damage reduction link. His first strong attack is a lunge. His second strong attack is another lunge with 625 radius. Not bad. It's actually pretty good. And then his third strong attack is a 1000 into 675. Actually, I think this is a 675 into 1000, right? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, no, never mind. This is a 1000 into an explosion, which is really good. I actually like this third strong attack for a NAD character because it bundles the enemies together so you can use your normal attack damage string to bring them down. Honestly, he's one of the best auto units in the game. However, for me personally, despite his design, he's a really cool character. But I don't think he deserves to be higher up on this list. I think he's fine where he's at, and this was more of a community vote. Honestly, I'm not sure if I feel like Grimmjow and Kampachi are kind of interchangeable. Kampachi definitely has more uses in terms of like manual play, but when it comes to auto, this Grimmjow's king. Simple as that. Alright, next on the list, Desert Society Rukia. Now, Desert Society Rukia, what she does is innately busted. She's a Soul Reaper with Soul Reaper Killer. She's a last ditch survival rate character for her soul trait. However, she does have a built-in strong attack recharge minus 12%. This is massive because like her having last ditch as well as strong attack recharge as the link means that you can make really good use of this character as a SAR build with 50% strong attack recharge. Mind Link Slot Potions +5 for inheritance zones means that you're going to want to run 4 Rukias because like I see a lot of rooms where they're like, I'll carry, you bring 3 Rukias, but Rukia doesn't need a carry. She does everything on her own. And if you're hosting and you're using Rukia, you use your third strong attack, which is a charged third strong attack, despite not having, despite not having Havoc 20%, the fact that this is a 900 radius AoE in front of you means that you can pretty much take down entire bosses by yourself. Especially if you level up the SP to 10. First strong attack is 475 standard lunge. Second strong attack is 800 radius. This character's good. Normally, I don't like characters without Havoc 20% on their charged third strong attack, but honestly, with the way that this Rukia is, considering she has weakening on everything, she has a debilitator of 5 seconds, berserker 20%, frenzy, sprinter +2, this character is just really strong. The bruiser 20% is kind of negligible. Personally, I personally would have liked something different. Maybe Havoc. To be fair, if they gave her Havoc, I feel like she'd actually be pretty broken, but that's neither here nor there. Alright, next on the list, and you guys probably can guess who this is. Tokinata. What Tokinata does is innately broken. A lot of these characters that are NAD-based characters will get Berserker 50%, but not really make effective use of it due to lack of kit, or perhaps not personally living up to expectations. Characters like Ichigo, characters like Nimaya. Actually, Nimaya is not too bad because of guard break. But characters like Ichigo, characters like Shusuke, these characters can't really be built in a strong attack damage type setting or a hybrid. They excel better when they're built with chappies, excuse me. Berserker plus 50%. He has a bruiser of 20%, including a normal attack damage enhanced link of 25%, so he has a bruiser of 45%. Now, on paper, when I bring up Grimmjow, he has a bruiser of 40%, so very close, right? Bruiser 45, so they technically should deal roughly the same amount of damage. Now, here's where everything changes. He has an enhancer, which means that he has a boost second strong attack. The boost lasts for 20 seconds, which means you're dealing 33% more attack and focus. So if you have this character with focus level, if you have this character 205 and you unlock that focus slot, he deals exponentially a lot more damage, which is insane. Honestly, at 105, this character is already busted enough as is. You can literally take him into Inheritance Zone and pretty much auto single player naked. Like, not many characters can do that. He has Flurry, Guard Break, Paralysis Immunity, and Sprinter +1. He is a ranged NAD-based character. He has range collision on his normal attack damage string, but with Guard Break, this is actually really, really good, because you push the enemies back should you not already one-shot them, which with most enemies, you will one-shot them. His first strong attack is a 2500 length beam, which is good because you don't push the enemies back, so you can literally slam them down if they're getting too close, and then you just nad them down. His second strong attack is an AoE shave boost, so instead of an AoE around him, he actually has a crawling vortex second strong attack, which is, in my opinion, much better than just a standard barrier / boost attack. And then his third strong attack is a standard full screen. Now, where stuff gets kind of nutty is the fact that he has a transformation mechanic with his ultimate, which also causes weakening. When he uses his ultimate, he refreshes his cooldowns, meaning that you can boost, use your ultimate after 10-15 seconds, get your boost back, and pretty much have an infinite boost during the duration of the match, which is why he can do sub-minute runs when it comes to epic raids so fluently without having to worry about failure or worrying about your allies that are dying left and right should they not be playing properly, right? His transformation lasts for 30 seconds, which after 30 seconds he will reset all his cooldowns again, lose a couple of his magnifications, and also one thing to note is his magnifications for his normal attack damage string is actually a lot higher than most people. Now, if I go into who's a character that's a NAD based character with a transformation mechanic, Noitora. That's a perfect example. So reset. I'll type in Noitora. Okay. Now going into Noitora, you'll see that his transformation goes from 100 magnification normal attack damage string to 110. So he gets a 10% increase, correct? With a 20% increase to the last hit. Tokinata's goes from, here's his base, goes from 100 to 120. Now, let me actually zoom in just so that you guys get an idea of what I'm talking about, like attack. So his normal attack goes from a magnification of 100 to 120 for the last hit, into 120 to 150. That's stupid numbers, by the way. This is an increase of 20% to the normal attack damage, not to mention that you are going to be boosted. And then on top of that, his last hit has an increase of 25% damage. So not only are you boosted when you're using your NAD, but you're boosted when you transform, and then on top of that, this transformation lasts for 30 seconds, which if you're doing epic raids, you're not going to need those 30 seconds, to be honest. If you're running with like 6 Tokinatas, you're not going to need those 30 seconds. You're probably destroying the boss there as he stands. When it comes down to other forms of content like epic, like extreme co-op, a lot of people give him crap for being a NAD character, but honestly, I feel like this character performs very well even in epic raids where most people don't even want NAD characters to begin with. His strong attacks actually deal damage when he's built with a gold chappy hollow bait or normal attack damage item. It doesn't matter. This character literally does it all. If you want to build him with a Zeta Ball, you can do that. You can build him hybrid, unlike other characters, because of his transformation mechanic, as well as the fact that he actually gets status ailments, and then on top of that, he gets boosted magnifications for his strong attacks just because he transformed. This character is innately broken. I'm not gonna say that you should like risk your life and go into debt summoning for him, but he will make your life a lot easier. Also, he's a range character, which range Soul Reapers, how many range Soul Reaper characters are there? Like, there's not like a crazy amount, correct? Like, I know that there's a good amount, but like a good amount of insanely ridiculous busted Soul Reaper killers that are range is very rare, right? So like busted characters like Byakuya, Bambietta, I think Udyr is pretty good, but I don't think he's like all that for when it comes to like something like Guild Quest. Tokinata, Byakuya, yeah, there's not much. Like, that's like 6, 7, maybe 7 characters tops that are worth actually working on, unfortunately. And number 1 on the list, you already guessed it, and like, I know that y'all been thinking about it for quite some time. Gotta give it to my man Kon, bro. Kon has been dominant for the last 5 years when it comes to Bleach Razor. Kon is so broken that Caleb has not re-released him, not once, bro. And sure, you can say like, oh yeah, but Tech Shikai Ichigo wasn't released either. Yeah, but no one gives a shit about that Tech Shikai Ichigo because they came with True Shikai Ichigo, which is still a tech character with Flurry, so it's just better. Either way, this Kon is completely dominant. He's a no affiliation killer with Hollow Killer. He has a stamina of plus 320, which, let's be real here, yo, stamina plus 320 is kind of nasty. Like, this is the difference between life and death when it comes to playing Jugs in PvP. He has adrenaline plus 30%. He has long stride, and Soldex's sight is messed up. He also has frenzy plus 2 and flurry plus 2, which means that he deals 3 hits per hit than normal, which is insane. His kit is actually quite mad. He has a 275 radius lunge for strong attack, because honestly anything higher than that would kind of be a little broken. His second strong attack is 275, and then his third strong attack, the radius, is 275, and he does a little world-to-world around his stuff. Honestly, Kon is just pretty... Honestly, Kon is busted, and if you fight me on this, then you're trash at this game. It is what it is. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it at that. You guys grind, will catch up with me, and stay blessed. Let me know what you guys think about this list. I think it's very, very accurate, at the very least down to the top 10. And either way, like I said, this list was pretty much voted in by those of us on Twitch. And yeah, feel free to follow me on Twitch. The link will be down below. And I guess I will leave it at that. You guys grind, will catch up with me, stay blessed. I wish you the best luck in your summons. Good luck, guys. Yo, bro, these banners that Caleb has been putting out are like, I don't even want to say they're bait banners. They've been, I'm not gonna lie to you, Caleb has been putting in the work in terms of getting people to want to summon, because like even I'm trying not to and I'm still failing. Stay blessed, y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.